Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Hakes and today we are playing the United States, well again, but this time we will not be playing as the fascists, we're going to rise up as the communists. So, this is a very fun path, but it's pretty similar to the last one. So I'm just going to start the game and do the setup. Alright, so for the setup, we're first going to continue the New Deal, and we're going to rush to guarantee the American dream. If we don't do this, then even more states are going to try to succeed from us, which we do not want. We're going to start with continuing the New Deal, grab our army. I'm just going to put it, oh yeah, I know it's going to stay, the uprising is going to happen in the south, so I'd recommend putting your soldiers like basically, so when the enemy rises up, we'll be able to take them down quickly. Next, we're going to do our standard research, plus these upgraded guns. I'm not sure if they get our technology. They probably do, but hopefully by then we have an alliance or so. I'm going to start building civilian factories up north and on the west coast. Do not build down here, because that's going to go to the enemy and you're already going to be losing factories to them once they rise up. So I'm just going to increase infrastructure in places. Once the war starts, we'll be able to do way more than they can industry wise. And now with military factories, I'm just going to put it on guns and artillery. We also are missing resources, and America is one of those countries where you can definitely trade for resources at the beginning. We're going to trade with the Soviets and the British. Alright, that's the setup all done. Let's start the game. Alright. Here's a small tip. Make sure in between focuses to do the small lobbying effort so you can get support through House and Senate, because you won't be able to get it but after you pick a focus, because you'll have too little political power coming in. Eventually you'll have enough political power to keep on doing it once you deal with the Great Depression, but until then, just do it in between focuses, especially since in this run, continuing the New Deal gives us more political power. Alright, so by the time you finish suspend the prosecution on your way to guaranteeing the American dream, make sure you have at least 150 political power, so you can get here, Earl Browder, the Communist Revolutionary. Next, I can't really do anything else because I don't have enough support in the House and the Senate. So I'm just going to do WPA and go down here all the way to the Unholy Alliance, which will be very useful for us. If you still can't start going down to guarantee the American dream, then I'd recommend just trying to get your economy fixed, because that's what's really hampering us on political power right now. This may not happen for you, but Mexico just let us get a non-aggression pact, because I'm pretty sure it may be because our diplomatic pressure I put on here earlier. I didn't think that would help much, but apparently it did. So just know that you can get a non-aggression pact with them, which you will probably want because they do get a war goal on you on non-historical. I'm pretty sure they can get it from multiple different paths, war goals on you. So it's just good to have a non-aggression pact with them. Plus, since we're going to be dealing with the South trying to rise up, it's good to have the least amount of enemies as possible. Alright, so with the political power from this focus, I was able to do some lobbying. So now I can do the Union Representation Act and make my way down to the American dream. And I'm pretty sure this will lead us to the Civil War. We just want to make sure we get it before it can start, you know? So let's start this, and hopefully nothing bad happens while we do it. Alright, since we're going communist, the election doesn't really matter, I don't think. But I'm just going to keep with the Democrats, because it just makes more sense to me for us going communist route, you know? Even though I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter. Alright, so as soon as you start down the path of communism, a bunch of protests by the Silver Legion are going to happen. And while you need to do this one, we must not bow to the mob. Just do whatever moves you closer to the Civil War, because that's kind of what we're aiming for. Alright, it looks like we may have an ally within the United Kingdom, because they have just conceded to the trade unions. If you don't know what that means, it's basically an event that happens when the United Kingdom is going communist. They'll start to decolonize their entire empire, then eventually turn communist themselves. They'll have a ton of manpower, and because we're also going communist, maybe we can get them in our faction to help us. Alright, so we have guaranteed the American dream. That means the Midwest, I believe it's called, like this area, will stick with us once the Civil War ignites. Now, what you do is up to you, but I want to get down to democratic socialism. So I'm going to desegregate the armed forces, then go down to this, and we'll become communist. But probably by then, an uprising will have happened. Oh well. Alright, so now the Civil War has just started in, what state is, in South Carolina. We are doing democratic socialism, so now even more of these states in the South will succeed and declare war on us. But since we guaranteed the American dream, a lot of these states up here should stay with us, which means we keep a lot of our industry, and more industry these guys don't have. Well, they wouldn't get it, it just wouldn't be ours, which is bad, you know? Alright, so now the full Confederacy is here. The first thing we need to do is create our front lines. We're just gonna put all of our soldiers on the front line. And I'm going to just push. I'm gonna have the lesser army push downward into Texas. So like over here, and this other army is gonna go for their capital in Charleston. Wonder why Charleston? I'm not sure if that was the capital of the Confederacy in real life or something, but I don't know or care. Alright, so we are ready. Our soldiers are moving out, and the Soviets are sending us volunteers, which is always good. And we are just melting through them so far. And the Soviets are trying to help us a lot. I guess they see that we're going communist or something, so they think we could be an ally, which we actually could. So I'll get back to you when something interesting happens, because right now it looks like the Confederates don't stand a chance. Oh, this event will happen the more territory you take. So what I would do is just form them into separate units. I just like to have more units and put them, I'm gonna put them on the the western front over here in Texas, since that could always use more soldiers. These soldiers aren't the best. Yeah, they are pretty bad, but we'll bring them into other templates once the Civil War is over. Once the Confederacy rises up, you lose cores on all these southern states that succeed from you. We may get claims on it, but that's basically useless right now, you know. But once we go down here to reintegration, we'll be able to slowly integrate all our states back. That's just a small process you have to do. But eventually, you'll have all your states back in not too long. This is like the easiest civil war in the game. You can literally just battle plan and just watch it go. The Confederates are like super weak and they can't do anything to hurt you. Oh, and we are now the Communist States of America. I really like this flag. It's one of the better ones. So we're going to go down to reintegration, then full desegregation, then probably the Unholy Alliance. The Civil War is going pretty good. Like I said, it's really easy. We've taken their capital, but the biggest problem with this is now we have to deal with the resistance, which is going to be annoying. But since we're communists, we gain access to the liberated workers occupation law, which basically is one of the best occupation laws, and it gives us a lot of less resistance and a good amount of compliance gain without having to lose any compliance gain. Well, we lose a little bit of compliance gain, but yeah, basically it's one of the best ones. So if you're communist, always make that your occupation law. I'm pretty sure you should do. Alright, if you decided to make a spy organization, I would immediately use it to root out resistance, because you'll have to deal with a lot of resistance. But now the new Soviets are helping us, so that's good. It's just gonna make an already easy war even easier, you know? Okay, so the Civil War is still ongoing, but the Confederates are on their way to losing, which shouldn't really be a surprise. But we have completed reintegration, so as soon as the war is over, we will be able to, well, reintegrate all these states and regain our cores on them. I'm just gonna see what happens if I just have all my soldiers beeline for Miami. Right. We have air support and more soldiers. I don't see how we aren't pushing more. Oh wait, we have more plane. You may miss this. You have more planes on the west coast, so bring them over to help you in the sky. Air superiority and close air support. Now we just mostly have to wait. See if you can find any gaps in the front line, or see if there's any weak links and try to attack for that. It looks like we may be able to get to Atlanta, and hopefully that's enough to end the war.
Move out.
We're attacking Atlanta, come on. Oh, New Orleans is their new capital. But luckily for us, we already had that surrounded. Now we just have to break down these soldiers, and hopefully that will help us win. Come on, come on. I'm surprised these guys are still trying to hold out. It's obvious they've lost this war. Wait, what country is this? Oh, the Bahamas. Yeah, the British decolonized. I always hate this part, just waiting for a single division to break on a victory point, when all you need to win should be that one last victory point. And that's it. We've won the American Civil War. The second revolution has been completed. Now we can readmit states into the Union and every 120 days, and we'll be able to get them all back here as cores. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like 10 of them. So it's going to take you like 3 endgame years to integrate them all. But if you're willing to wait, then good job. Good on you. But I am not, and since I've completed my goal, I've obviously won. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. If you have any suggestions, put it in the comments, and this is goodbye for now.